Ladies and gentlemen, the FA's Premier League has been postponed as well. No games on the local front. But this postponement comes at the right time, Lucy, when the women's team qualified for the Olympic Games.
Yes, at least
You being a lady, you're as excited as I can imagine.
at least we have something to talk about till everything gets back to normal. Obviously, it's the COVID-19 reasons being as to why most of the games in the country have been cancelled. I know that the upset tournament as well was
Yes, postponed.
postponed rather this week. So yeah, activities, of course, because we rather they are saying we stay away from socializing because it
Social
spreads like
distancing.
like no man's business. Hence, all these activities being put off. It's not good for us, but what can we do?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing that we can do.
Yes,
There's
just
nothing
have
that
to
we
abide
can
by
do.
the rules and see to it that this too comes to pass at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I think it's a good move that the government has done in
Yes.
terms of closing schools, discouraging social gatherings,
Yeah.
even limitation in terms of bars out the times that they should be able to open, to
Including
operate,
churches.
including us churches, although us churches will always cry
We're always
foul.
a church,
Yeah, as a church. Yeah, well, because for us the Bible says we should be near God all the time.
Yeah, so we are a church as we are here.
Yeah, so
and that's a building where it is right now.
so we feel a little bit restricted, but in the event of COVID-19, there's nothing that we can do. What the government is doing is for our betterment. In fact. Look at the countries that it's ravaged. There are a lot of fatalities, a lot of death. A lot of people have been infected. We can talk of China, although China is recovering now. We can talk of Italy in Europe, where it's been hit hard. So really, we need to thank the government for job well done in terms of they being proactive, as opposed to being reactive. Because when you're being proactive, you save a lot of lives. And this is what is happening. Thus far, we only have 2 cases. If that is anything to go by.
And we're told there'll be a latest update at 12:30.
Wow.
That's like in the next 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
So our
We don't
hope
have
and
any
prayer.
case or so.
Yeah, our hope and prayer is whatever the circumstances, we won't jump to 100 cases. Yeah.
Absolutely. This one says, afternoon. Oh, I'm Simon from Luansha. I always tune into the program since 2014. I love the show very much. But love you.
Thank you.
Big fan of Manchester United and Zega. All right, Simon in Luansha. Thank you very much, Simon in Luansha. We
Tuwakutana fe pali bazesco. We went to live aba yellow.
We haven't had games on the covered boards in a long time, as in at Ndola. We'd probably have linked up with Simon if we had an international fixture in Ndola. But thank you very much for tuning in since 2014. Impressive. This one says, this is bad in the beautiful game of football. I would advise Kamanga to quit because the battle is politically motivated. Teddy Kwawilima Jr. Lusaka. Now, Lucy, someone is saying Kamanga should resign. All right, let's probably get everyone's opinion. What if Kamanga resigned? Would that be the best thing to do?
Are we saying Kamanga is at the bone of contention right now? Is he the reason as to why?
Teddy says it's politically motivated.
Well,
Boma, Sunga fighting a Boma.
But is it Boma that has sued Kamanga or taken him to the courts?
Teddy is suggesting so.
Yes, I know that's a suggestion. Well, at the end of the day, Kamanga is human. Of course, I am not going to speak on his behalf, but I know that he is human. He's got every right to participate in whatever he wants to do at the end of the day. And if he deems fit to say, I think I should conquer, let him conquer. And the state also, they are an interested stakeholder. You understand what I mean? In the FAS as an institution as well. And they are there to make order and also support, whether monetary or just being there to ensure that things are moving in tandem. So at the end of the day, what I would want to encourage the two is to get along for the sake of us soccer fans, us soccer lovers. It's very important. And if there's anyone between the two who feels I can't see him because I've got a bigger guy with a bigger stick who's FIFA up there and it's gonna show you who I am, or my daddy is bigger than your dad, then it's not gonna work. What I feel is that this these people, they should get together for the sake of us fans and for the sake of our friends who are playing football in there, because it's a livelihood to some soccer players in there. You know, they get paid because of the same thing. And it's also an image. When you talk about Zambia, when you're on a plane, for example, you're out of the country, the first thing that anyone will think about is football. You know, or if someone says sell yourself in 3 minutes, you know, you are out there, you start talking about yes, you pick on football, you pick on tourism and so on and so forth. To bring this image to the fraternity, it's really sad, and I hope that we clean it up, because before it heads in the headlines, that is before BBC or any other, you know, institution pick it up and we are there, you know, being painted as red. You know, I pray to God that Kamanga and everyone else around him, I mean, we shouldn't be thinking that he's the only one who's moving up and about in this situation. Obviously, to every situation, there are both sides. So we cannot speak for anyone here, but our sincere hope is that this thing gets done and dusted. We get back on track and we move forward.
All right, now, Chair, if you were Kamanga, what would you do in this case scenario?
A difficult question to be able to answer.
This is why I had to ask you before you chipped.
Yeah, very, very difficult, answer. In the previous hour, somebody asked to say, where have we gone wrong?
Mm-hmm.
I would pose another question to say,
yes,
where should we have gone right?
Mm.
You know, when you look at everything, to me, over and above us, there's a patron.
Mm-hmm.
And the patron is His Excellency.
Mm-hmm.
If people have felt aggrieved, that's my take. If people have felt aggrieved, they could still, go to the patron and talk to His Excellency.
mm-hmm.
Mr. No. That's my take. You'll be able to give your own view. This is my take. Yeah, this is my take. They could go to the president and say, Mr. President, we seek your indulgence. We seek, your counsel over this thing. I've gone, for argument's sake, somebody can say, I've gone to a minister, and it appears that the minister, I can't go along with the minister. I have gone to National Sports Council, and it appears the Sports Council cannot offer me, relief. And I thought and felt, you are the president of this country. Being the president of this country, you are the patron of Zambian football. Help us. Really, I don't think this is beyond the president. The president can be able to call for a roundtable and be able to resolve these things. The court battles that we are seeing is because, sorry to use the term, there are egos that have come to the fore. Sorry to use where we are right today. This thing would have been long resolved. A solution would have been found. A workable solution would have been found. And as we speak, those elections could have taken place.
Yes.
Everything could have been, done according to the script. But today, because there's nothing like, there's no give and take, everybody would want to think that he's bigger. Everybody would want to think that he does hold, that wisdom, that knowledge. As a result,
we find by XYZ. I'm also protected by XYZ.
Because if others are saying I'm protected here, there are others also they're saying we are going to look at this route. This route is going to help us. This is where we find ourselves. Now there are courts. Yesterday or the other day, Mr. Tom Mtini, who is a former administrator, who's former Football Association of Zambia,
the president,
yes, he came in and said, he came in and said, let Zambian FA be able to follow the rules of the game. There are a lot of people that are there that can be able to offer counsel. You can talk of the Jabez Zolos of this world; they're still there. He was first president. Mr. Teddy Mulonga was a former first president. We can talk of the number of people that are still around. If Mr. Evaristo Kasunga out there in the farming, those are people, because if those are life members of Football Association of Zambia. If the office of the president is very far, or we can't pick a call to call the president, or even his press, at the press secretary, we can be able to call upon the life members of the Football Association of Zambia, people that have been there before, and say, look, we are finding problems here. Help us to foster, a friendship in football. I think this thing would have been done, long done. But because we've sidelined those people, we think those people cannot help us. We also, by the way, we also think that, because by now, if the president was called upon, the president would have just summoned all camps, the two camps, come to State House. Let's be able to debate this. Because you see, the scenario here is a little bit dangerous. Let me be frank. The ladies have qualified for Tokyo 2020. We are into the Chan tournament. We are also into the running for the Africa Cup of Nations. We are also into the running for Qatar 2022 World Cup. Assuming FIFA comes hard on us and suspends us, all these things will be gone.
And
to whose happiness will it be?
Yes, and sorry to cut you short. In the same lane, I agree with you. We have like 3 very important tournaments. In the same scenario, we recently got a new coach, and he must be wondering as well. We don't know
what is happening.
Is he settling well? Have we made sure that he's settled well in terms of?
And as we speak, his contract is yet to be approved by
him. Because now people.
Yeah, but it's working.
People are losing touch. They're focusing now, dragging each other either to FIFA or to the courts of law. So,
it's a little bit disarray. So in the 2-3 months that he's been around, I don't think he's been paid. I want to believe the only allowances that he's getting.
All right. Yes. Now, Andrew, Chair has raised a very good point. Chair is insinuating, wondering why Andrew Kamanga, who's somewhat embattled, has not called upon the patron of the Football Association of Zambia, the president, to intervene in this matter.
Yes, once and for all.
Why hasn't he? It's very simple. I think, as Chair has put it. Could it be?
Well, it's not stated but implied.
Insinuated. Could it be an issue? Could it be an issue of ego in our first president, in just picking up the phone and call his excellency, the president, to intervene? Because look, the person that is probably giving him hell is a minister that can be shuffled around by the patron of the Football Association. Because to tell you the truth, I'm not trying to say there's political interference, but to tell you the truth, if there's a cabinet reshuffle and the minister of sport is moved, and then we have another minister of sport, did you know that all this impasse that we're having could probably have, it could actually have an impact on this impasse? All this could probably somewhat even be water under the bridge as we speak. Now, I know you're not him, okay, but why should it be so difficult to call upon the patron of the Football Association of Zambia to intervene in this matter, as Chair is actually trying to put it here? We're trying to stoke up the fire in Chair's contribution on this particular subject.
But Mr. Lorenzo, even maybe before he comes in, I love your point where you say if we were to, if the president was to reshuffle,
all this thing would be gone.
Let us get back to Mawere when he was sports minister. Did we have such numbers?
No. Meaning, this actually augments my point. If there's a cabinet reshuffle on Monday and the minister of sports is taken to fisheries, and then we have another minister of sport coming to maybe.
But let's not make it. Lorenzo, and Julius, let's not make it as if let's not make it as if it's a minister that is into the thick of this. Because you remember, even when Mr. Mawere was minister, there was also an issue. You remember over when Carl wanted the letter to go to CAF, you remember that kind of thing?
But like the way things are now, compared to Mawere's
tenure.
Probably
Lorenzo, just when these things started coming out, the president had a function at OIDC, and journalists took him on and asked him, "Sir, can you intervene in this issue?" The president said, "What is there to intervene? Because I can only ask those that are politicians and are interfering in football to stop." That's what the president said. So probably Kamanga thinks that was done. The president, made a statement over these issues.
Though the problems have continued unabated.
Yes.
Yeah. If they've continued.
The president said we don't want football in politics. That's what the president said. Can those who are taking politics into football stop? He said that.
But
so
did he mention names? Did he mention names?
No, he didn't.
He didn't mention names. So if no names were mentioned, why don't you give it a try? Why don't you give it a try? To say no, Your Excellency, we are knocking on your door. We have this impasse. Please help us. Then you get it from the president, from his own mouth. If he says no, Nakana, then you would say yes. The president has refused. But has he been tried? Has he been, has his door been knocked?
Yeah. But allow me, Lorenzo, to go away a little bit and try and address that gentleman who was asking to say, where have we gone wrong?
Yes.
Yeah. There was support there. Some people tried to raise and said, how can he hold two positions? How can he be employer and employer? I remember those sentiments coming out. But there was support to say, no, let's give him a chance. Okay? So, if there was such support then, why is there no such support today? So, to me, where we have gone wrong is the fact that there isn't support going to FAS. There isn't support going to Kamanga. If we had that kind of support, surely we cannot have some of these things that we are seeing today. We can't. Because we will all be pulling in one direction and saying, since we have Kamanga now leading FAS, let's give him our support and let's just give him the support so that we do not dwell on and let him, like they say, give somebody enough rope to hang themselves. I believe if we had done that as a nation, we would not be where we are today. I believe so very much. Because each time he wants to do something, and there are those that are experts in that particular area, they would come up and say, oh, up to this point, because we know this area. So, had we taken that approach all the way to that, but if at all he's listening, probably it's time for him to try.
It's worth trying.
It's worth trying. If the roadblocks that he has been experiencing at the Ministry of Sports is maybe that is what is discouraging him. Maybe it's time he forgot about those roadblocks and tried the patron.
Yeah, maybe Andrew, just not to cut you short. Let's not make it as if we are implying that it's only Andrew that must be able to seek, the president.
Yeah.
Even the other camp also, they can also go to the president and say, Mr. President, look, we're having a problem here. Help us. So it's a two-way traffic.
Yes.
It's not like we are implying it's only Andrew. No, even the other guys on the other camp, they could still, be able to call upon the president.
True.
And the president can be able to address them, to call the two parties. Phone calls can be made in a matter of seconds. Hello, this, let's sit, let's be able to talk. And tomorrow we could both be smiling,
Julius, before we get the calls,
yeah,
I know Lucy will crucify me if I don't get the calls.
Getting back to your question, Lorenzo, should Kamanga step down or whatever? Personally, I think attacks will always be there when you're a leader. That's the thing. Yeah, but what's important is where these attacks are coming from and why these attacks are coming to. So for me, my friends, and one of my friends said, why can't Kamanga seek indulgence from His Excellency, like Chair has said? Just tell him to say, look, His Excellency, I think we've had issues, and we've failed to sort out these issues within ourselves. So please, you being a patron, can you please come to our rescue and help us? From the time that Kamanga entered office, so many people have been attacking him because the national team has not qualified to the African Cup of Nations. That's been their attack. And every time I have a chat with them, I ask them, what issues do you have with this person? No, we have issues because as a country, we cannot go to qualify to the Africa Cup, collectively and whatever. But then look at also the other good side of Kamanga. Are you telling me just because we have not qualified to the Africa Cup, Kamanga has not brought any development or change to the Football Association.
Yeah, there's been massive development.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So why can't
massive
people
development.
appreciate that massive development that has taken place at the Football Association of Zambia? So people should not just look at the bad side of him, but they should also look at the good side. But all in all, what's important is I think if they failed to agree on certain things, let them seek indulgence from the president, and I think he's able to come through and help. And that's what's important for me as a child of God. I think what's important is both parties should humble themselves.
That's it.
And seek God. And trust me, if they seek God, God will surely come through for them, and they'll be able to reconcile. And that way they're going to work for so that football can move ahead, because we fans are being affected, because it's like things that fans are.
All right, before you come in, Chair. All right, I know of one trait that women outsmart men on.
Yes.
You know, women are able to pick a very arrogant and proud man easily. All right. Women are able to tell that someone here is not being humble enough.
Don't put her on the spot. Don't put her on the spot.
Please look, identify egos in this fight.
I think both sides, both camps.
The arrogance.
They just need to humble themselves, Lucy. They just need to humble themselves.
Both camps.
Both
camps.
They just need to humble themselves.
Yes.
They just need to humble themselves.
That's why, Lorenzo, when you ask the question to say, should Kamanga resign? I find it a little bit queer. In that, first and foremost, not in terms of wrong. He's a sitting president, and if it was in boxing or in football, he's a champion.
Yeah.
And as a champion, he's got mandate to defend his crown.
Yes.
So he wants to go to the elections and be able to defend. And that's where it's a better platform where people will be able to say, Baba, you haven't done well. Or you've done good, and we are going to extend your mandate. This is exactly that is, you would want. Let the ballot be able to remove him. You get my point. But in as much as we want the ballot, to remove him,
or to keep him,
let them be able to bring sanity into the game
and follow the procedure and work.
Actually,
together.
Lorenzo, just before you pick up, why can't the other camp come on board? And if they feel they really want to contribute to Zambian football, why can't they come on board and advise Kamanga and say, okay, that's what I would do is passion ya bola. So what we can do is let me help you. Not really help you, but let me try and what we can do is don't you think we can do this and this and this and this, and then we'll see change in that. Why can't the other camp?
At school. That's what I'm saying.
That other camp should humble themselves.
Now, Andrew says in the first hour that he's never seen a first president that has been hit left, right, and center.
There's been
there's been a lot of people missing. Let me remind you. Let me remind you if you've missed it. Let me remind you.
Too much of a time.
But before you remind, Chair, let's get a few calls.
Okay.
But take in mind the list.
Okay.
If you forget, I'll remind you. All right. So here we go with our next caller on the program. You're through to Backpage. Good afternoon. Kindly give us your name and where you're calling from. Please go ahead, James.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I hear Lorenzo saying that the shuffling of the minister. I think this issue is not about the minister. It's about the people who took the matter to court. And I'm happy with the word of wisdom from Uncle Wanzare. Said they are former party presidents who are with us at the moment. And these are the people they're supposed to consult to intervene in this matter. Because the president at the moment is handling a lot of issues. You have seen there is the coronavirus and other things. So what they're supposed to do is to consult these former party presidents we have around, to sit with them, to get counsel from them. This is a matter which cannot take us even in 3 months, fighting each other. No. So we need to consult those people. And what I'm seeing from the people in the office, like the Kamanga, there's too much pride. There's too much pride. If they remove pride from them, then they sit down and discuss. This matter can take us even as far as to FIFA and the other things. No. So please, Uncle Mwaka, kindly advise our leaders who are in France. Thank you.
Thank you, James in Luansha. Let me get two quick ones. 0960-200-490. Fatiga says watching from Luansha. CKY says hi Lorenzo and the panel. I'm Chai Sinkoma, one of the oldest Backpage listeners.
Wow.
Yes, since 2006, if my memory serves me right.
Excellent.
It is well coronavirus has exposed our faith. How strong do we trust in Jesus Christ, or do you trust in him out of fear? Thank you very much, Achai Sinkoma. All right, David Mwale says if one has failed, let's accept the country has failed to qualify for AFCON tournaments twice in a row and the third time this year. Kamanga and Carlo should live for other people. Football-wise, we are no longer united. The Copperbelt province is no longer hosting international games. Why? In capital letters. It pains to see Zambia missing from the AFCON tournament. It's unacceptable. They are busy eating taxpayers' money in allowances. This is the worst FAS executive in Zambian football history. All right, let me get two quick calls before we get to have the panel also come back. 0960-200-490. You're through to Backpage.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Feedback.
Okay, please reduce the volume on your radio. Please go ahead, Jairus in Mufulira. David. Gerard. Okay, please go ahead, Gerard in Mufulira.
Let me use the number so that even people.
No problem, Gerard. Thank you, Gerard. Okay, let me get one more. 0960-200-490. That is the number. You can get in touch with us and we'll put you through at a push of a button. That is 0960-200-490. Tell us what you think on what is happening. We have an extended version of the first hour, considering that all else is suspended. This one says, hi, Lorenzo and Pano. How are you? You are a blessing to me and the football fraternity. I love you all and I'm enjoying the show. All right. Thank you very much for that text message. All right. Here we go with our next one. You're through to Backpage. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My take on this issue of Kamanga and Kamshawari, only one thing. They make request. What is wrong with the request that was conducted? Do we have an issue? Are these people having an issue with the request, or they just want to distract our football? Because I've seen this camp fighting court issues and the like, and the other side is there are also issues with FIFA. They have also gone to FIFA. So, going forward, let's agree to say that the other side people are very wrong. As opposed to just be more professional, to tell people in a professional way. The best thing is to tell them straight that you people are wrong. So let us give you a good in this way. That will be able to solve this issue as quickly as possible. We see our football start on a better note. It's not the issue of confined to the AFCON. Sometimes there are so many aspects that prevent people from confined. There are so many aspects of the game. You understand this, the end and the group.
Yes.
Not that it's because of Kamanga that they are so confined. No. We shouldn't be going to do that people like that. Let's call it step by step. If someone is wrong to look like a step, let's say I hope to lose the
Okay.
That's what we're able to get help like that.
Okay. Thank you for coming through. All right. Okay, let me get on to some comments now. Kelvin M. Dalla says, it is really bad with what is happening to our football leaders in this country. Can't Mr. Kamanga just quit? Because it's like a battle between Mr. Kamanga and the courts, which are controlled by government. Very bad indeed. All right, then Valverde Cafulo says is glued. All right, then Smart G Shonsenim Fumu says, good afternoon, team. My team, you lose. But chair, I like but chair, I like your hair. That's funny. And then Muzambia na ikosa. Dola ya kwela, coronavirus yaisa, no more baller betting until further notice. So no money per weekend. Anyway, I'm enjoying the show live. What do you have to say about
Thank you so much.
All right, then Douglas.
I know someone would ask which one am I saying thank you to? Whether ni Bola Betty or
all right, so then Douglas Mutale says watching you live in Kitwe Chamboli. Thank you very much, Douglas. Sydney Emmanuel says watching live from Dola. Okay, thank you very much, Sydney, for that one. And then you're saying I'm also listening in via internet radio. Thank you very much, Sydney. Michael Mambwe says, good afternoon, panelists. Kindly invite Kamanga to this platform. The man is not a crybaby. He knows his job. This man means well for this country. From the terraces, this is the battle of his business, nothing else, says Michael Mambwe. Lightman, thank you for tuning in. Derek Walia says, Pano, the politicians are behind the confusion in FAS. The politicians are behind the court cases. Damiano is just being used. Thank you, Derek. Then we do have Mutale Fridays, who says watching you from Mufulira town. Mubangangwira says politicking taken to the extreme. All right. And then Shadrach Sakalika says, good afternoon. Lelo Kwaya Yakwana, who is causing the confusion at FAS? Do we have lacunas? Even at FAS, weekend is boring without football. Titamba live, Sakalika Shadrach. All right, pretty much exciting. All right. Well, we'll keep on getting comments here and there, but before we get back to the local front, Lucy, the Premier League has actually posted losses. All right. Or to the tune of that is like 762 million pounds.
Yes. So
quite a lot of money, eh?
Quite a lot of money. And what you must understand is that this is alluded to because of COVID-19 and the losses they're segregated in advertisements and so on and so forth. You have other channels, deals. Endorsement deals,
TV rights.
Yes, TV rights. You have not Super Sport, but you have Sky Sports, who are also taking a mammoth hit daily at present, and they are struggling predominantly to bring in advertising during this period. So it's very sad to our
to the Premier League.
Yes.
But there's something that you should also commend United for, Lucy.
Yes,
You're a Liverpool fan, but there's something that they've done which demands commendation. And I hope
Yes,
in these
you're able to
times,
agree.
in
So
these times,
in these times, Man United will continue to pay all casual match day staff, even if the remainder of their season is cancelled or played behind closed doors.
Wow.
that's why this team is bigger.
Humanity, yeah?
No, this team is bigger. Likulu.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, Likulu. And continue. He says even if the league will be cancelled,
yes,
they will continue paying.
Wow. The casual worker.
The casual worker.
It's a good gesture, eh?
Likulu. That's the only
Something
answer.
to envy.
Something to envy. Yeah?
Some of these teams would have said that could be border, could be revenue.
Yeah,
There's no get takings. Yeah.
Just
So to
marketing
attend
on
suspend.
sale.
The African team, they should envy
It's
that.
a marketing
African team
strategy,
today.
Likulu.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's what they do.
That's a bigger team.
Leading by example. Eh?
Yeah.
leading by example. I'm proud of them. I'm clapping here. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Clapping, yes. And let's go to our man.
Very first time.
We are talking about Sadio Mane. He has also made it 45,000
But £1,000.
euros,
which is a lot of money, eh?
£41,000.
Let me convert that one to
So
Zambian kwacha.
convert to our currency. Yeah,
It's
so
1,000.
this is
Just put it for
basically
20.
Times 20. Now
Times
maybe
20,
maybe
yeah.
22.
Yeah, just put it for 20
For
on
20,
average.
yeah? 20 thereabouts.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So the rate is around at 20.
20,
Yes,
yeah.
let's
20
use
multiplied by 41,000.
Mhm.
820,000 kwacha.
Company
Well
kutwapanga
done.
Lorenzo yamba nokupanga na
Well
maprofit.
done.
Yeah.
And
Almost
this-
1 million
Yes.
kwacha.
Wapanga company so bwino bwino fi.
Only player
Close
for
to
more.
1 million.
Yeah,
Not just having.
okay.
Yeah.
And you're still giving, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And you're still
That gesture
giving.
is commendable.
This is
Wow.
commendable. And
By Sadio Mane.
to Mane, we are saying God bless.
God
Oh,
bless
yeah.
him more.
Yes.
And
Yes.
may God replenish
Very
100
true.
His account should never run dry.
Yeah.
Very
Not a
true.
chance. Not a chance. But congratulations to United as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Yes.
good gesture.
It
Yeah.
is.
All right. Okay. So let's get one more call. There we go. All right. You're through to Backpage. Antele Daka. Good afternoon. Your
sir.
player Sadio Mane made a good donation. Antele Daka. Mm. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mhm.
Jealousy. Kudala. Kudala.
Good afternoon, Antele Daka. Thank you for calling in. Pretty much exciting. All right, 12:50 Central African Time. We're coming to a close of the program. It's pretty much hard to even have a peak of the weekend. Look out for the weekend.
Yes.
Considering that almost everything is suspended. But I would want to get your comment, Andrew, on Sadio Mane's gesture.
Into the Zambian economy, Lorenzo. That's a huge boost. And we would like to see more of such kind of gestures. It's not a small thing coming from an individual, putting up such huge sums of money. Wow, that's really, really commendable. And we will do. It would be nice to see that most of those guys earning those huge sums of money can actually, do what Sergio Mani has done. It would go a long way in helping, matters around the world. Yeah.
Okay, pretty exciting. All right, now, Julius, your coach Mikel Arteta has recovered from COVID-19. Is he back in training? Kindly bring us up to speed, brother.
It's actually a good thing.
The Arsenal, for the Arsenal.
Actually, personally, I was worried. I'm like, oh my God, our coach is really affected. But it's good news that he's now back on track. He's recovered, and he's getting back to training now. So it's really a good thing. And what we're just looking forward to as fans is now the league to resume again. Because, like you said earlier, we have not had entertainment. Most of the times, weekends are boring. This time around, we're supposed to be looking forward to which match are we going to watch. But this time around, most fans are now being forced to watch movies which they do not watch. So if we're hearing of such news, it's really a good thing to us fans, and we'll keep praying for them that all goes well and God is going to see us through.
Okay, this message reads: if I was Kamanga, I would step aside. Munivute. Is he going to manage to fight the system? His peace, happiness comes first. He should just concentrate on his personal business. Christabel Ndinawe Nankamba. All right.
But the question is, what wrong has he done?
For me,
for a business person, right? He too is looking at his business image.
Exactly.
Because if because you have a challenge, then you run away. What sort of a business message are you sending out there? To me, he hasn't done anything wrong. So why should he step down? He hasn't done anything wrong at all. He is simply trying to run football. That's all. And in leadership, always there are those that will be happy with what you are doing, and there are those that won't be happy with what you are doing. And even generally in life, that's how it is. But you see, for me, I always advocate for always being on the right side of the law and always doing something correct the first time. Each time I try to do something, I must do it correctly. And all the time when I'm doing something, I must do it on the right side of the law. Once I cover those two, I know that even if somebody comes to me and says otherwise, if I'm covered on these two, and I'm definitely believing that what I have done is correct as far as the law is concerned, I'm fine with that.
All right, parting shots, Lucy. It's 12:54. It's been exciting and explosive. We should admit. I don't say I wanted to chime in.
No, just to push in some parting shots. Like I indicated, I think it's not too late. These things can be resolved. All these court issues that are there can be withdrawn. There's a no level. All these things can be done. What we want is, the good of the game to proceed. Personally, I love traveling with the Zambia national team. I've been with the team, and I wouldn't want to miss out. My pinnacle, was the 2013 2012 Africa Cup of Nations. I spent 23 days in West Africa, in Equatorial Guinea and Gabon. So I love traveling with the team. So to foresee a scenario where we will be banned is something that I don't like. Even at home, I like watching the Zambia national team. I like the boys. I like seeing them. So I would want our game to continue, and that being the case, Michael, I'm not supporting anybody. Let me make this categorical, because I'm an analyst. I'm analyzing the situation, but others, for some reason, would want to give me a come, and they're entitled to what they would want to say. But for me, all I want is to see the beauty of our game continue. So let's put our heads together. Let us resolve this thing. It's not beyond us. Even these court issues can be resolved, and without going to court, and move ahead. So my message, somebody asks, are they listening? Yes, they are. They are listening. So as they listen, please Tapapata.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Lucy, parting shots in about a minute. How do you wrap up?
So for me, how I wrap up is I would like to see the FAR's wrangles issues surrounding our house ends, and it is my prayer that COVID-19 comes to an end so that we get back to business as Backpage.
Okay, all right. Winston Kalengo Simukoko says, excellent job, panel. This is Andrew Kamanga's time. He's the man of the moment. Against all odds, you surely smile at last, he says. All right, so that is all we had. We'd like to appreciate each one of you that did join us via Facebook Live. We have to cut the feed now. You have to catch us next Saturday at the same time. And those of you also catching us via YouTube Live, please, we appreciate you joining us. We'll definitely have to reconvene as we are John Cena here.